Akwaaba, Akwaaba, welcome back. My name is Mark, and yeah, it's the first session of 2021. I kept my heating on all night last night, and it is still freezing. So yeah, we're going to keep it pacey today. Got my t-shirt on because I'm so cold. Haven't got a towel because I'm going to sweat, but do have a bottle of water handy. The session today is going to be 45 minutes. So I'm going to test out a reduced schedule today. 45 minutes, that's to 60 minutes. Let me know how you find it. So I hope I can keep it pacey. It will go quicker. But welcome everyone back from the Xbox of 2020. Let's try and be positive as much as we can for 2021 and support each other. Say hello to each other, Yogi family in here, Akwaaba Yoga. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. I'm told I should be saying that, and also hit the like button. I've got some headphones in today, so hopefully I should be coming through less bassy on your computers or your iPhones. But let's get cracking. I'm going to start in child's pose. So feel free to come to child's pose at any point during the practice. But yeah, let's go. So let's all come into our mats. Let's put the water to one side. So we're going knees apart and feet together. And so I should have said the essence of today's practice, again, whilst it's a flow, we're going to really just try and focus on breath to body movement. So you're going to hear me just calling out a lot of the poses. And I'm going to repeat quite a few of the poses consistently. So yeah, come to child's pose, knees apart, feet together. Let's come down, bring our torso in between our knees. Lay your arms out in front of yourselves, your palms are facing down. Just notice any tightness in your hips. You to bring your bum towards your heels. Your forehead may or may not reach the mat. It's all good. If it doesn't, if you've got a block handy, feel free to put a block underneath your head or a tall book or a book. And just come into relaxation here just for a couple moments. Just whilst we're here in child's pose, just have a quick scan through your body. Just notice where you might be just gripping or tensing. It might be in a jaw. It might be in the shoulders. Your shoulders might be hunched up if they are. Just soften into your shoulders and relax. If you're gripping into the mat, just let that grip go. And let's just start to come into our breaths here. So I'm going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's go for one more. Inhale. Exhale to soften. Soften into your shoulders. Feel nice and relaxed. On your next inhale, let's just push up into a tabletop. So for this one, for anyone new, it's hands underneath the shoulders, knees stacked underneath the hips. We're going to come into our cat and cows. So it's going to bring some movement to the spine. So on the inhale, we're going to barrel the belly down and take our gaze as we do up towards the front diagonal. And on the exhale, push your hands into the mat as you come to the angry cat pose, taking your gaze towards your navel, drawing your belly. And repeat. Inhale to look up, belly comes down. Exhale, push your hands into your mat as you look towards your navel. Inhale to look up, your tailbone goes up. And exhale, draw in your belly, take your gaze to your navel. And let's all just come into a neutral position here and just come into our own freestyle, just keeping our hands stacked underneath our shoulders, just find movement any which direction you want for your body. Just let your body loose. Just have a play here.
And all throughout, just try and remember to breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Maybe take your bum back towards child's pose and lengthen up through your arms. Shake out the shoulders. And when you're ready, let's all come back into our neutral position, back to our tabletop. On the inhale, we're going to lift the left leg and point your left leg all the way back towards the back of the room. You're curling your toes, so your toes point towards the floor, and then lift up your right arm, and your right arm is facing forward. Your palm is facing towards the left side. So nice and long on the inhale, and on the exhale, bring your knee in and bring your elbow in. Start to come to that angry cat again. Curl through the shoulders. On the inhale, we're going to lengthen out. Right arm goes forward, left leg goes back. And on the exhale, let's curl in. Knee to nose. Let's go for one more. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale to curl in again. And hold it there for 3, for 2, for 1. Step that left foot back towards the back of the room. Place your right hand into the center of the mat and come into a modified side plank. So your left leg is nice and straight. You're going to start to open up the body towards the left side of the room, taking your left arm towards the ceiling. Maybe take your gaze up towards the left hand. Or keep the gaze down towards your right hand towards the mat. Really open up as if you're waking up in the morning. And then bring your hand back towards the front of the mat. Take your knee back, and let's all meet in tabletop again. And just change and take the opposite side. So this time the right leg goes back. You're curling your toes again in towards your face, they're pointing towards the floor. This time left hand goes forward. Go nice and long on the inhale. And on the exhale, let's curl in. Knee to nose. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale to curl in. Inhale to lengthen out. And exhale to curl in. And see if we can hold it for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale to lengthen. This time the left hand is going down. Your right leg is going back towards the back of the mat. The right sole of the foot is on the mat. You're going to start to lift that right hand up off the mat. Take the right arm towards the ceiling. Take your gaze up towards the right hand. As again, we come into a modified side plank. Taking our body and shining it towards the right side of the room. Really open up and yawn that body. And on the next breath, let's come back towards our tabletop. Let's all meet in tabletop together. Let's go for one more cat and cow. So inhale, barrel the belly down, take the gaze up. Exhale, create space between our shoulder blades, taking our gaze to our navel. Let's come back into a neutral position. Let's curl the toes under and press our hands into the mat as we come up into our first downward facing dog. So from here, just start to walk out the legs. Start to discover your calf muscles. They might be a bit tighter over the holiday period, depending on if you've been out and about. I did want to brave the cycle, but I'm too cold. It's too cold for me. No more walking, no more cycling. So press your hands into the mat. Start to lengthen that through the arms. See if you can lift your tailbone a bit higher towards the sky. Let's all come into stillness. Once you're here, just try and roll your shoulders away from your ears, soften into the shoulders. Again, try not to be hunched up. On your next inhale, come up high into the toes and just walk towards the front of the mats. And let's all meet in ragdoll in the front of the mats. Let's take opposite hands to opposite elbows and just start to sway from side to side. You can keep a soft bend in the knees here. You probably find yourself coming into your hamstrings a little bit now. Release the arms down. So just be heavy with the torso and the arms. You might have a slight bend in the knees. Slowly going to start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Again, drawing through your navel. Be nice and heavy. Let your shoulders roll up and your head be the last to come up. And let's stand towards the front of our mat in Tadasana pose, a mountain pose. So our feet are hip distance apart, our palms are facing forwards. Just close your eyes for a couple of seconds. Just find yourself nice and grounded and rigid to your mat here. Take a deep inhale in and exhale out. On the next inhale in, start to just roll your shoulders back so your chest comes forward, standing nice and proud. And exhale. Start to blink open your eyes. On the next inhale, let's raise the arms up towards the sky. Really try and touch the ceiling here. And on exhale, bring our hands to prayer as we come all the way down. You bend from the hips as we come back down to our ragdoll, our forward fold. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Lengthen out the arms. On the exhale, release the arms down. On the inhale, we're going to come all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, place our hands in prayer to our chest. Inhale to go nice and tall to prayer. Take your arms up towards the ceiling. On exhale, again, bend from the hips as you come all the way down. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Roll the shoulders back. On the exhale, bring the arms down towards the mat. On the inhale, come nice and tall again. On the exhale, bring your hands to prayer to our chest. Inhale to go tall. Exhale to bend from the hips. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Exhale to release down. Inhale to go nice and tall. Exhale, take our hands to prayer, to the center of our chest. Inhale to go up. Exhale to come down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to release to the mat. Inhale to go high. Exhale, hands to our chest. Inhale to go high. Exhale, bend from the hips as you come to our forward fold. Inhale, hands to our shins for halfway lift. Exhale to release the arms down. Just hold it here for a couple of breaths. On the next inhale, just keep our feet hip distance apart. When I come into chair pose, and take a bend into the knees and start to draw the arms up from the floor towards the front diagonal. You go for that anterior tilt of the pelvis, so try not to stick your bum out here. So draw your hips in, take your gaze up towards the front diagonal and just hold it here for 3 breaths. So engage through your transverse and engage through your abs here, your lower abs. Just embrace any shakes you might be feeling in your thighs. Inhale for one more breath. And on the exhale, lift forward fold. Inhale to come to a halfway lift, hands to our shins, lengthen out the arms, take your gaze towards the front of the mat. This time, exhale, place the hands at the front of the mat, bend into the knees, and step the left foot all the way back. And step the right foot to join the left at the back of the mat as we come into our first high plank. So again, from here, let's just engage for the core and start to rock forwards and back on the toes. On the next inhale, let's rock forwards. Let's all drop the knees down towards the mat, uncurl the back toes, and bend into the elbows as you come all the way down towards the mat. And then come into the Sphinx pose. So place your forearms on the mat. They might just come off the mat. Your elbows are stacked underneath your shoulders. Your palms are sprayed out on the floor. Start to draw your torso through the arms. And on exhale, bring your body back down. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. And all together, let's all push up into an upward facing dog. So this time, you're lifting your torso up off the mat, relaxing the shoulders, and on the exhale, curl the toes under as we will meet in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, exhale. And again, inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. On the next inhale, let's come high on the toes. Let's all jump a step forward as we meet at the front of the mats. In our ragdoll, in our forward fold. Let's come to a halfway lift, hands to the shins. On the inhale, exhale to come down. Inhale to come all the way up. Hands to prayer to the center of our chest. Inhale to go high. Exhale to come all the way down towards the mat. Inhale to come into a halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to come high. Exhale, pray to our chest. Inhale, go nice and tall with the arms. Exhale, bend from the hips as we come all the way down. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, pray to our chest. Inhale to go high. Exhale to release, bend the hips as you come all the way down. Inhale, hands to our shins, roll the shoulders back. Exhale to release. Inhale to come high. Exhale, bring our hands to prayer towards the center of the chest. Let's go for one more. Inhale to the hands all up towards the ceiling. Breathe beyond the fingers. Exhale, bend from the hips as you come all the way down. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale to release. Inhale, let's go all the way up towards the ceiling. You can try and touch the ceiling. Go nice and tall. Maybe shake out the fingers. And exhale, bring the hands to the chest. Inhale, take the hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend from the hips as you come all the way down. Inhale to come to a halfway lift. Roll the shoulders back. Take the gaze beyond the front of the mats. Exhale to release. Again, with our feet at hip distance, let's all come into chair pose again. So bend into the knees. Start to bring your bum towards the mat. Take your arms up towards the front diagonal. Take the anterior tilt of the pelvis. And engage through the core. I'm going to hold it for 5 breaths this time. Trying to hold a breath. And relax any tension or any gripping that's going on in the jaw right now. For 2. For 1. And come into a forward fold. Let's dive forward, bringing the hands towards the mat. Let's come into a halfway lift, hands towards the shins again. Roll the shoulders back. Let's place the hands to the front of the mat again. Step the left foot all the way back. And step the right foot to join the left as we all meet again in our high plank. Inhale to rock forwards. Let's bend into the elbows. Feel free to drop the knees. We're going to push straight up as we come to our upward facing dog. Again, soften through the shoulders. And on the exhale, curl the toes under as we will meet in our downward facing dog. On the inhale, let's lift that right leg up. So it's parallel with the mat. You're curling your toes in towards your face. And on the exhale, step that right foot all the way through towards the front of the mat. You're high on your back toes. Let's all drop that left knee and curl the left toes as we will come into a runner's lunge. So as you come up, just create your stability here. Nice and stable on our right foot at the front of the mat. On the inhale, let's all raise our arms up towards the ceiling. And feel free to come into more of a bend into that right knee. So aiming to feel a nice stretch into our left hip flexor here. And this pose is really, really good for any cyclists or runners, or if you're into your walking. I know Queen P just started a new YouTube channel where she documents her walks. This one's for you as well. It's a really nice stretch for your hip flexor. On the inhale, shine our chest up towards the sky. There might be a little back bend here. And on the exhale, let's cut all our hands towards the front of the mat. We're going to start to bring our torso back as we come up high into that right heel, as we come into a half split. So creating a nice stretch into that right hamstring here. Try and keep length in your back here. Try not to collapse down. Just walk your hands forward as much as they will go without compromising the integrity of the pose here. You can really curl your toes in towards your face and feel that stretch in the hamstring. To create a bit more room, just start to bring engagement to your right quad. So if you can, just switch on your right quad by just tensing it up. Now create a bit more space in your right hamstring. Don't forget your ujjayi breathing here. And on your next breath, and start to walk forward with the torso. Our hands are at the front of the mat. Let's come up again higher into the back toes. So we're curling our left toes back underneath, lifting your knee up off the mat. Step that right foot to join the left at the back of the mat. Let's rock forwards onto the toes. Again, feel free to drop the knees here or come straight down, taking a bend into the elbows for a low plank. Let's push up into an upward facing dog. Again, soften through the shoulders. And when you're ready, let's curl the toes under as we all meet in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here through the nose. And on the exhale, release any anxiety, any tension. Just let it go. Let's switch and take the other side. So slowly start to lift that left leg up so it's parallel with the mat. Again, we're curling the toes in towards our face. And on the next breath, we're stepping that foot forward to the front of the mat. So the left sole this time sits to the front. Let's all drop onto that right knee. Uncurl the right toes. Once you feel nice and grounded and stable, start to lift the torso up off the knee, off the left thigh. On the next inhale, let's all raise our arms up towards the sky as we find ourselves in our low lunge. Again, feel free to find a bit more of a bend into that left knee. So this time, you all should be feeling a nice stretch into our right hip flexor. If there's any stretch I recommend trying to do on a daily, it's this one. You can repeat this a few times each side in the morning, maybe in the evening. Just release that tightness we tend to experience in the hips through sitting down at our desks all day. We're holding here for another 3 breaths. On the next inhale, maybe start to see if you've got a slight back bend here. See if you can open up the arms and shine your chest towards the sky. And on the exhale, let's cut all the hands down towards the front of the mat. Start to walk the torso back. As you walk the torso back, we're lengthening out this time that left leg until we come up high in that left heel. You can curl your toes in towards your face. Try and maintain that the length we've got in our backs. Start to walk the torso forward by moving your hands forward. And this time, we're coming into a nice stretch into our left hamstring. Again, as we did on the other side, maybe engage through your left quad to find a bit more space in that left hamstring. On an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, see if you've got any more room to move forward. And as you move forward, you should find yourself coming a bit more into that hamstring. your next breath, bend into that left knee. As you start to come back up and walk the hands forward, I'm going to curl the right toes under, come up off that right knee. And on the next inhale, step that left foot all the way back to meet the right at the back of the mat, as we will meet in our high plank. Again, let's just rock forwards and back on the toes. So switch on and engage through our abdominals. On the next inhale, let's rock forwards on the toes. Feel free again to bend into the knees, take the knees to the mat. Otherwise, come all the way down to a low plank. Let's push up into our upward facing dog. Curl the toes under as we all meet in a downward facing dog. I'm going to repeat that once on each side again. Just try and pick up the pace. So start on the right side. Inhale to raise that right leg. Exhale to bring that right foot all the way through. Drop that left knee. And curl your left toes. On the inhale, take the arms up towards the sky. Here for one breath. And on the exhale, cut all the hands down towards the front of the mat. Start to walk the hands back as we come up high into that right heel. As we all meet in our half splits. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to walk the hands a bit further forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to walk forward a little bit more. On your next breath in, let's bend into that right knee. Taking the hands back towards the front of the mat. Curl the left toes back under. Come up off that left knee. Let's jump that right foot all the way back to meet the left at the back of the mat. So we're going to rock forwards onto the toes. Bend into the elbows to come down to a low plank. We're going to push up into our upward facing dog. Bringing our chest through our arms. And on the exhale, curling the toes under as we all meet in downward facing dog. Let's switch and take the other side. Inhale to lift that left leg up. Again, curling the toes in towards the face. And on the exhale, bring that left foot all the way through. Dropping down onto that right knee and curling the right toes. On the inhale, lift the torso up off the left thigh. As you take your arms up towards the ceiling for one breath. And on the exhale, bringing our hands down towards the front of the mat. I'm going to start to walk the hands back as you come to half splits. Come up high on that left heel. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, see if you can walk your body, your hands that much further forward as you come into your left hamstring. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, talk your hands forward. On your next breath, let's bend into that left knee as you come up high. Taking our hands back towards the front of the mat. Curl our right toes under. Lift up off that right knee. Take that left leg all the way back to meet the right at the back of the mat. Again, we'll just walk, roll forwards and back on the toes here. On the next walk forwards, we're going to drop down to our right forearm and then our left forearm. As we all meet in forearm plank. Again, just rock forwards and back on the forearms from here. See if you can go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if you can push up onto that left hand and back up onto that right hand. On your next breath, let's all drop onto our knees. We're going to uncurl the toes here and start to bend into the elbows as you come all the way down before we push up into our upward facing dog on the inhale. And on the exhale, I'm going to curl the toes under as we all meet in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. And again, inhale and exhale. Your next breath in, Again, let's raise that right leg so it's parallel with the mat. And on the exhale, we're bringing that right knee all the way through as we come up into warrior one. So our right foot is just tucked inside that right hand. You're dropping down to that left heel. And once you feel grounded, maintain that bend in that right knee. The left leg is nice and straight. Start to draw our arms up towards the sky. So your hips are facing forwards. Your left foot is angled out towards 10 o'clock. On your next inhale, see if you've got a small back bend here. And on exhale, let's all come into warrior two. So this time the right arm is going forward and left arm's going back. And they're just sitting parallel with the floor. On your next breath, let's flip that right palm over. And come into reverse warrior. So he starts to seesaw that right arm up and over. Maybe take your left hand towards your left hip. Breathe for one more breath. And on your next breath, we're going to start to cuddle that right arm up and over and take the right elbow so it sits just inside the right thigh. I'm going to open up into side angle lunge. So you maintain that bend in that right knee. Just use the resistance of the elbow against the inside of the thigh. See if you can open up the body a bit more. Taking that left arm up towards the ceiling. And on the next breath, let's cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. Step that right foot. Whoops. Just join the left foot at the back of the mat. Let's all drop into the knees. Uncurl the toes, bend into the elbows as we come down to a low plank. On the inhale, let's come up into our upward facing dog. And on the exhale, curl the toes under as we will come into our down facing dog. Let's go for the other side. So this time we're lifting our left leg. So it's parallel with the mat. You're curling your toes again in towards your face. And on your next breath, you're bringing that left leg all the way through. You're placing your left foot just inside of that left hand. You can drop onto that right heel as you come up into our warrior one on the left side. So if you're nice and grounded, maintain that bend in that left knee. Your right leg is nice and straight, angled out towards 2 o'clock. Your hips are facing forwards and lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, see if you've got a small back bend here. So shine your chest up towards the sky. And on your exhale, let's release out. Let's come to warrior two. That left hand going forward. The right arm goes back. Just find your drishti point, your focal point for one breath. On your next inhale, flip that left palm over. And this time come to reverse warrior by taking that left arm all out towards the ceiling. Just take that right hand, just the crease of the right hip. So you find this space and a nice stretch down the left side of the body this time. You're really working the intercostal muscles down the left side. Some muscles in between your ribs. And on your next breath, let's come up and over into a side angle. This time we're taking the left elbow, sitting it just inside with that left thigh. And just use the resistance to help you open your body up towards the right side of the room. Lifting your right arm towards the ceiling. Maybe your left hand, if it's there, reaches down towards the mat. On your next breath, as you'll come back into warrior two, and then cartwheel the hands down towards the front of the mat. And jump that left foot all the way back to meet the right at the back of the mat. Getting forwards and back on the toes here. On the next walk forwards, I'm going to bend into the elbows for a low plank. Let's push up into our upward facing dog. Let's curl the toes under as you're meeting downward facing dog. I'm going to repeat that one more each side. And again, we're going to just try and pick up the pace a little bit. So on the inhale, I'm going to raise that right leg up. On the exhale, bring it all the way through as we come straight up and meet in warrior one. Our arms go nice and high. And on the exhale, this will meet in warrior two. Right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. Inhale to flip that right palm over. Let's come to reverse warrior. And on your next breath, we'll bring that right elbow so it sits just inside of that right thigh. We'll open up the body towards the left side of the room. Maybe just one breath. And on your exhale, I'm going to cartwheel the hands all the way down. Jump that right foot to meet the left at the back of the mat. So sort of falls into the toes. Bend into the elbows for a low plank. Together as one little push up as we meet in our upward facing dog. And on the exhale, we're going to curl those toes under and all meet in downward facing dog. On next inhale, this time we're lifting that left leg up. So it's parallel with the mat. And on the exhale, bringing that left foot through this time. So it's just inside that left hand. Let's lift the torso up as we all meet in warrior one on the left side. Your torso is nice and tall. And on the exhale, right arm goes back, left arm goes forward as we all meet in warrior two. On the inhale, flip that left palm over. Let's come up and over into reverse warrior. For one breath. And then exhale, taking that left elbow, so it's just inside of that left thigh. We're going to open up into side angle lunge for one breath. On the next breath, we're going to come up this time into warrior two before cartwheeling the hands down towards the front of the mat. Let's jump that left foot back again to meet the right at the back of the mat. Together, let's rock forwards and back on the toes. All your next rock forwards. Let's bend into the elbows for low plank. Let's push up into our upward facing dog. And on exhale, curl the toes under as we all meet in our downward facing dog. On the next inhale, let's come high on the toes. Start to walk the feet forward. And we'll meet in ragdoll at the front of the mat. Again, to be nice and heavy with the torso, with your arms be droopy. And really bend into your knees. Bend into the knees here. So you can take your hands as close as you can towards the mat. If you're not quite reaching the mat, keep bending, keep bending. And let's go for a big toe grab. So our feet are hip distance apart. You're taking a maximum bend as you need in your knees. And using your two-piece fingers on each hand. Just interlace them underneath your big toes. Once you've got them hooked, keeping the grip on the inhale, take the gaze just beyond the front of the mat. Lengthen that through the arms. On the exhale, start to bend and lean that torso forward. And just use the resistance of the grip to pull yourself a bit close towards the mat. And if it's there for you to start lengthening out the legs, then go for it. Inhale. Exhale to release a little bit more towards the floor. Take one more breath. And exhale, release the grip. From here, I'm going to just step that left foot about 2 feet back from where it is. So picture your feet on train tracks here. Your right foot is facing forwards, facing towards 12 o'clock, and start to angle your left foot so it's pointing more towards 10 o'clock. And slowly start to bring your torso up, maintaining the position of your feet. So from here, you can probably see that my feet are on opposite sides, opposite edges of the mat, with my left foot again pointed
out at an angle. We're going to go for a pyramid pose. So maintaining both legs in a straight position. Let's, if you can, take opposite hands to opposite elbows behind our backs. So it should look something like that. And on the inhale, shine your chest up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, again, you'd bend from the hips. You're just going to take your torso as far forward as you can. Keep your torso centered into the center of your mat until you start to feel a bit of a stretch come into your right hamstring here. You don't need to go all the way down towards the mat. Just go towards your edge here. On your next inhale, start to bring the torso back up. And let's just switch. So this time the left foot goes forward and your right foot goes about 2 feet behind. Both feet are on the edges of your mat, but this time your right foot is set off more at an angle, maybe pointing towards 2 o'clock. And again, keeping your hips facing forwards on the inhale. Take a small back bend as you shine your chest up towards the sky. And on the exhale, start to bring your torso forward as far as your body tells you. And when you start to feel your hamstrings on your left side turn on, just hold it there. Maybe draw your left toes up off the mat, just your left toes, to bring more of a stretch into your hamstring. And on the inhale, let's come up. Use your abs to bring yourself back up. Let's all meet at the front of the mat. So release both elbows. I'm going to start to bend into the knees and come all the way down towards the mat. And then sit your bums. If you've got a block handy or a book, I'm going to come into an inversion, just a very nice, easy inversion. So I'm going to take Viparita Karani. If you haven't got a book or a block handy, not to worry. I'm going to start to first bring yourselves down to the mat. So you're black. Your back is nice and flat on the mat. Start to lift your legs up off the floor. Take your legs, both legs to the pointed vertical. Again, curl your toes in towards your face. I'm going to stay here just for a minute. Just enjoy the sensation of our feet, our legs being above our hearts. Whether it's true or not, probably isn't true, but just imagine your blood is rushing down and feeding your hips here with oxygen. Just imagine that sensation. So in this practice, we've also sought to bring some awareness to our hips. Just being conscious that if, like me, you tried not to do too much during the holidays, 2020 was a lot, so it was really a time for myself just to relax and take some personal time, which involved a lot of sitting down and a lot of tightness to the hips. Grateful to have that opportunity. There are a lot at the moment who are struggling with work, and particularly our NHS and key workers. So let's today, whatever we take away, let's also take away a sense of gratitude that we made it through a tough 2020, but we're still here. If you did have a block handy, you can always put the block underneath your lower back to give it a bit more elevation. But if you don't have a block or a book,
That's all good still. Just keep it for about 10 seconds or so. As we count it down, let's start to bring our legs down slowly, slowly, slowly. As we engage for the core. Let's bring it to 45 degrees, and 30, and 20, and 10, and hold it. And then relax. We're going to come into our Shavasana, so let your arms be either side of you. Your palms are facing up. Relax and soften into your shoulders, release any tension or gripping in your jaw. And close your eyes. Release your Ujjayi breathing. And just come to stillness for a few moments. And as we do, again, just congratulate yourself for turning up today. Have a sense of gratitude. So we'll take one more inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Just let your sigh all out. If it's calling for you today, feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. Otherwise, start to bring some movement to your hands and your toes. And blink open your eyes. And massage out the back of your skull. On your next inhale, let's draw our knees in towards our chest. Come into a nice curl ball. Just bring your forehead up towards your knees. And then rock up onto your bum. Just come into a seated position. And let's set up a block. Just come into a seat position or come onto your knees. Ooh. Sit nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back. Maybe keep your eyes closed or bring your hands into prayer towards the center of your chest. Again, just congratulate yourself and say thank you for giving yourselves 45 minutes today to rock up and join in on a mat together, support one another virtually. Again, let's have a sense of gratitude that whatever challenges we had in 2020, we made it through. And let's also remember to give thanks and appreciation to those who are working hard, our key workers, our NHS staff, supporting us through the current pandemic. Blink open your eyes, and that's a wrap. 45 minutes, done. 47 minutes, done. Ooh. Done and dusted. Hope you could all hear me in my with my headphones on. Right up to Charles from Washington DC. Yeah, thanks for the follow on YouTube as well, Charles. Pleasure to have you join us. Blessings to Queen P. Hope your channel is going well. I know you started your YouTube channel. And to B, D-Man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your exploits this year, D-Man, with your 5Ks, and to Monaco as well. Yeah, blessings, Charles. Thanks a lot. No, these sessions are all about just bringing movement to our body, and also just having a place on a Sunday we can support one another and turn up without any sort of inhibitions or judgment.
So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. I didn't have any music on before today. If you can see the state of my living room right now, it's a bit of a mess. I'm having some DIY work done. So this setup was a last minute hustle, but I'm glad I managed to deliver today. Do hit me back with any comments, anything you'd like to see different. Is that Chantel? I think it's Chantel, my eyes are going. But anyway, I'm guessing now. Say hello to one another. Again, support each other during the week. Support your friendship circles, your immediate circles. And next week we'll be back. If you've got any suggestions for next week, do let me know. Otherwise, yeah, hit subscribe, like, share, comment. Much appreciated. And I will see you. Let me know how you thought about 45 minutes as opposed to an hour as well. That'd be useful. Anyway, take care. Otherwise, I'll keep gassing in a bit. Bye bye.